Imagine a thrilling twist in the wild. A majestic predator, once on the brink of extinction, is not just bouncing back, it's now feasting on cute, unsuspecting penguins. This fascinating shift in Patagonia highlights the unexpected ripples of successful conservation efforts. But here's where it gets controversial. Could our well-intentioned actions be disrupting the natural balance in ways we never anticipated? Let's dive in and explore this wildlife saga together, breaking it down step by step so even newcomers to ecology can follow along. In the rugged landscapes of Argentina's Patagonia region, dedicated conservation initiatives have turned the tide for pumas, those powerful big cats also known as mountain lions or cougars. Decades ago, these apex predators, meaning they're at the top of the food chain with no natural enemies, were nearly wiped out. Sheep farmers, desperate to safeguard their livestock from predation, hunted them relentlessly, driving puma numbers to critically low levels around a century back. Thanks to tireless rewilding efforts, however, their populations have surged spectacularly. New data from GPS tracking and camera traps now reveals the densest concentration of pumas ever documented in this area, as detailed in a study published this week in the Royal Society journals. Accessible at https://doi.org/doi:10.10.rspb.2025.2172. What's drawn these resilient felines to specific spots? They've clustered in high numbers around coastal colonies of Magellanic penguins, which inhabit the shores for about half the year, from roughly September through March. According to Emiliano Donadio, an ecologist and science director at Rewild Argentina, a non-profit focused on wildlife restoration, the puma density here has skyrocketed to an estimated 13.2 cats per 100 square kilometers, equivalent to about 38 square miles. To put that in perspective, imagine a grid slightly larger than a small town packed with these stealthy hunters, far more than in typical puma habitats. During the puma's long absence, Magellanic penguin populations exploded, establishing thriving breeding grounds on the mainland that had previously been too risky. But now, with pumas back in force, these flightless birds, adorable creatures with tuxedo-like feathers, have become prime targets for the cats. Mitchell Serota, a manager of ecology at Duke Farms, part of the Doris Duke Foundation, and the lead author of the paper, explains that the penguins' comeback story took a surprising turn. Serota, who conducted this research while pursuing his PhD at the University of California, Berkeley, notes that without pumas, the penguins could nest and rear chicks without that constant threat, leading to bumper crops of these oceanic birds. Pumas, as Donadio, one of the study's co-authors, points out, were once vilified as pests in the early 1900s when sheep ranching dominated Argentina's economy. This industry peaked around the early 1900s but has since declined significantly, paving the way for nature's comeback. With those predators eliminated, Magellanic penguins seized the opportunity to build massive colonies right on the mainland, Serota adds. And pumas? They're incredibly adaptable survivors, roaming from the icy expanses of Canada all the way down to the southern reaches of South America. Their diet is impressively varied, encompassing over 200 different prey species, think everything from deer to smaller critters. It's astonishing how they've adapted so dramatically here, yet perhaps it was inevitable given their flexibility, Serota remarks. The key to their resurgence lies in protective measures, including ranches transformed into national parks. For instance, land donated to Argentina's Park Service became Monte Leon National Park in 2004, offering a safe haven. This not only benefited pumas but also aided other species like foxes and guanacos, those llama-like relatives that add to the region's biodiversity. And this is the part most people miss. While we celebrate these recoveries, they often come with unforeseen consequences, reshaping ecosystems in novel ways. Serota suggests that pumas might have occasionally hunted penguins even before their near extinction, but never on this scale. We deployed a network of camera traps across the park, and the sheer number of puma sightings near the penguin colonies immediately set off alarms, hinting at something bigger at play, he shares. Globally, penguin species usually nest on remote offshore islands, shielded from land-based threats. But these Magellanic penguins chose Argentina's accessible coasts, making them an abundant, sitting duck resource for pumas. As Donadio explains, they're predictable, always returning to the same spots, and require minimal effort to hunt, lacking the defenses of more agile prey. When penguins migrate or are absent, pumas shift back to traditional hunts, targeting guanacos. These large, llama-esque animals are tougher opponents, often requiring collaborative efforts from multiple pumas to take down, making them a riskier meal compared to the easy pickings of penguins. The cats simply gravitate toward the penguins because they're simpler and safer to pursue, Donadio notes. Interestingly, the spike in puma numbers coincides with record-high penguin populations, which appear stable or even growing despite the predation. Rangers at Monte Leon National Park played a crucial role by providing logistical support for the study, enabling this eye-opening research. The findings underscore a broader truth. As humans alter landscapes through actions like conservation, ecosystems don't just snap back to their historical states, they evolve into something new, forging unexpected relationships that influence animal behaviors and demographics. Rewilding in our modern world doesn't hit rewind on nature, Serota emphasizes. Instead, it sparks fresh dynamics that can completely redraw the lines of predator-prey interactions. This raises a provocative point. Is the success of puma conservation worth the potential toll on penguins, or are we playing favorites in the animal kingdom? Some argue that prioritizing apex predators like pumas helps restore balance and biodiversity, even if it means trade-offs for other species. Others might see it as an ethical quandary. Should we intervene to protect the underdogs like penguins, potentially at the expense of hard-won conservation victories? For beginners, think of it like gardening. You plant seeds to revive a forest, but some plants might overshadow others in unexpected ways. Do you believe rewilding efforts should weigh the impacts on all species equally, or focus on the big picture of ecosystem health? Is this a win for nature, or a case of unintended consequences? Share your opinions in the comments. Do you agree, disagree, or have a different take? We'd love to hear your thoughts and spark a discussion.